All right, here we are. Hey, Wolfpack, what's up? I am waiting for people to get here. This is the waiting music. But if you have any questions, feel free. I'm here for an hour. I don't have to just make annoying sounds with the banjo. Miracle Beach, BC, Canada. Good morning. Healer, Elma. Okay, cool. I assume you have you're either a healer or you have healers. Yeah. Good morning. Do you guys have banjos up in Miracle Beach? I learned a long time ago, Wolfpack, that the banjo is one of the best instruments to learn because you could get gigs. When I was in my 20s, I would get gigs at like wineries and stuff. You'd sit down on like a hay bale with a dumb hat and you wear some overalls. You just look the part and you can get away with playing, you know. You don't even have to do anything. You know, like 3 chords like this. What I've been playing is just 1 chord. In my 20s, it was a really good gig. You know, you get free drinks, you get to meet people, you get to play music, and you don't really have to try at all. Beautiful. Yeah, banjo's easy. The best thing about banjo too is like if you're into, for me, like I'm not into traditional theory. I mean, I like some, but it's not the way my brain approaches music. But one of the ways it does make sense to me, music is like tonally and then shapes, different shapes. So I always used to love the thing about banjo is like, you know, like an F on banjo is it's the same everywhere. The shape stays the same because it's all open tuning. It's kind of cool. I think that makes it really fun. a video on my page under like the songs that I do sometimes, and I did an old banjo standard with drums on my right foot and tambourine on my left foot. It was not easy. Rescue rehab healers when they need me. I had a tenor banjo years ago, but sold and gave it someone on a budget. You know what? That's great to hear. All right, we have a good little core until more people pile in. But yeah, I used to have old banjos, and when I go on tour, I'd give them away to somebody. You can get a banjo or make a banjo. I made one on eBay with parts. It was pretty cool. Oh, you like that song? I'm glad. I'm going to do more. Yeah, I like that song a lot. I usually don't do more than a few takes because I want it to be like genuine, but that song did frustrate me, and it did take like 30 minutes to shoot that 5-minute clip, which I don't usually like that to be the way it is. You know, it's not my preferred way. Oh, cute. You should send it to me. You can send it. Oh, fun fact. I should put this in the thing, but maybe I find out how to do it. I finished my website. It took me forever, but you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna put some. I might put some secret hidden videos on there. But yeah, I was. I'm sure. Hopefully, more people will come here. I was talking to somebody from Peter Stream the other day, Hillsby, and she lets her dogs into the bed. Man, I had to give her a talking to. Yeah, I mean the banjo is the best. You can really do anything with it. There's a song I wrote. It's one of my favorite songs ever, and it's just a random. I tuned the banjo to something random, and it worked out perfectly for myself. Sorry about the lighting, by the way, guys. I have it on a laptop. I'm trying to get my phone to stream live, but I don't have 1,000 subs, so I have to use this app called Prism, and I can't get it to connect. So we're just gonna have to be on the computer for now. It's funny. One of my old clients just got a DNA test for their dog. I thought it might have been an Australian Kelpie, but it actually turned out to be a Husky and a Heeler mix, which I'm fine with. I mean, it's a great dog. I had some videos on it. His name was Coda. He's a smaller dog, but Heelers are just so fun. They have such a good. Energy, I guess, if you want to use that colloquial term. They just have a good spirit about them as a dog. I love working with cattle dogs, man. Heelers, they're fun. Not spoiling our Aussie Husky. Yeah, you can't spoil the dog. I got a buddy who I've known since high school who has a dog that's kind of like, one of those Schnauzer mixes, and the guy has 4 kids. Wife and 4 kids is a lot to deal with, and they've had this dog for a while. I guess it was the wife's dog, and the dog was a total mess. And when we were hanging out, I hadn't seen him in about a year or 2, and he came by and saw the dog training stuff. He knew that I worked with animals, but he was talking a big thing about, my dog just this and he can't that. He comes over more often and he observes me boarding and training the dogs. And he told me last time he was around, yeah, I've been doing some of the stuff you do with the dogs. I've been doing it with my dog, and I'm getting a lot of good results. And like, now all of a sudden the wife is on board because she sees its results. It's just simple stuff. People really overcomplicate stuff by making poor decisions. They make poor decisions for the dog, and they think they're doing it like, I don't know, for the benefit of the dog. It's not. I always tell clients, remember, dogs don't have behavioral issues in the wild. Separation anxiety, one of the dogs I have with me, that's a prime example. Separation anxiety, dogs don't care about separation anxiety. It's humans that cause that. Maybe one day I'll have a lot of people in these things. Does anyone, oh man, sorry to hear you. R.I.P. Baxter. I'm not really that religious, but R.I.P. Baxter. Yeah, healers will go, man. That's a perfect way to put it. Healers do not have much quit in them. They're about it. I used to have a buddy's healer, Pseudo, and we would take him out with my buddy in his truck in the middle of the night and hunt rabbits. Pseudo would be in the back of the truck, and we'd spotlight a rabbit with the truck in the off-road, and he would, boom, dart out of the back of it and go get that thing. It was awesome. But, it seems like you got a good life out of him. 18 years is really good, man. But yeah, it's never fun to lose a dog. If you're the mindset to do it, there's plenty of dogs out there who are going to need another home. Whether it's, purebreds or rescues. I'll tell you what, though, if I had to rescue a dog, I'd want it to be a healer. They seem to be pretty easy, a little bit easier to unravel. It's a big ball of yarn. But sorry for your loss, man. Ooh, sorry, guys. Well, what a drag. Normally, at least a handful of people, like 10 people, pile in. We'll see what happens. Anything new on your end, Wolfpack? Anyone out here got any? You don't have to ask a question about dog training. You can ask questions about anything. I watched Kanye make God cool last night again. I watched that live stream. It was pretty cool. A lot of good music today if you're a music person. A lot of good new songs. Oh, wow. Look, see, life goes on. You got an 11-year-old pup from him. It's an old puppy, 11 years old. Black screening you? Oh, do you stream on your Xbox? I don't ever had an Xbox. I was a PlayStation man myself. But really, if I had to pick, I always knew who was going to win the console wars. It was always going to be Nintendo. Nintendo's the GOAT. It's the best. It's the best. It's proof that you don't need great graphics or any of that shit. You just need to be able to. You just need to be able to make fun games. Well, if your dog is gay, it's living in the best time ever for it. Super acceptable, I guess. Make sure that you put the right pronouns and information on on your dog's profile picture. What's up, Toxic? Toxic. Toxic, have you ever seen the video Story from North America from YouTube? It's like an old black and white pencil animation about taking spiders outside. It's a destiny. I think it's What, gamer? You don't want me to actually talk about your gay dog? I dropped a Nintendo GameCube down 3 flights of stairs once at the lake house my friend invited me to when we were like 13. That shit tumbled all the way down and smacked itself right on the top. Plugged it in. It fucking didn't skip a beat. It worked perfect. We were back to playing Smash. Up since 2 a.m. Is it hot? Are you having nightmares? What's the problem? Yeah, total tank. If I had to have one game system to protect my life and my family, and I only got to defend myself with one gaming system, it's probably going to be the GameCube. It's got a nice handle. You can really use it as a good weapon. But I will say the original Nintendo casing, that was a heavy machine. Sharp corners, too. What was keeping you up? Shiba? What was keeping you up? Well, nothing is made to last anymore. I played some PlayStation 3 the other day with my friend who we took it apart years ago and like put it back together because it broke. But the PlayStation 3, that's a powerful machine too. Health woke you up. I'm sorry to hear that. I know you mean your health. There's also a very loud industrial band named Health. That's a possibility that that's what woke you up. But I think you're talking about actual health issues. I hope you're feeling better. I hope today and this evening offer you more respite. So I was, here's a good story for you guys. I was listening to this kind of reporter, news person I know. Not really news, I guess. I mean, a kind of like topical news. They report on things like in the sphere of the internet. I don't even know what the fuck that means. They're talking about how they got and how the puppy was stolen and given back. And I'm sure that that person is out there somewhere. You might see this, but they claim somebody from like Uber Eats stole their dog and then gave it back when they knew that they had a dog that people wanted back. Dog shoes. Dog shoes are funny, but I get it. My dogs need them sometimes. When dog ripped his paw pads off sparring with that coyote, he needed dog shoes over his bandages. But yeah, somebody was claiming that they thought their dog got stolen by an Uber Eats driver, which I think is a ridiculous thought. And then I got more of the story that they were using for the first time ever in the dog's like 4 or 5 month old life. They were using an e-collar, and they didn't know what they were doing, which is kind of why I was like, oh, maybe I'll do e-collar questions today. Just know this: the dog ran away because they never used a vibrating collar or anything like that, and they got the collar. I assume it's like a mini educator, any other collar, because the person's not cheap, and they're not as stupid as they seem in the story, because I think they would get the right thing, or at least do research. Basically, they got a stimulation, vibrating, and beeping collar, right? Now, most vibrating, beeping, stimulating collars follow a similar model to the mini educator because that's kind of the original template. If you're using the vibrate or the tone, the beeping tone, which is what he was doing, that beeping tone is very often, and you should look at your manual, followed by a stimulation. People use the beeping tone, at least how I understand it, and Toxic, feel free to chime in. From what I understand it, many of these collars have a beep as like a Pavlovian tone. You beep, right? And then the dog comes to you and you treat, reward. So beep means food, means recall, which is why people get solid recall using treats. they don't have them. But that beep, more often than not, is followed up by a stimulation, a momentary light stimulation until the dog is compliant. And depending on what model you get, you could be, stimulating the dog in a way that's inefficient, or even worse. In this guy's scenario, apparently he was only using the vibrate function. He was using it a lot. If you've never used an e-collar, don't confuse what the dog experiences with what you would experience, okay? The vibrate function, for the majority of dogs that I've seen and work with, the vibrate function is extremely disruptive, and it's tactile. It's so tactile, it really gets a reaction out of the dogs, and in my experience, it freaks them out a lot. I use it as a deterrent. It's a really good deterrent if the dog wants to like dig in the yard or try to bark in the crate or something. A quick tap on the vibrate can really, at least from the way I've applied it, can work really well with a no command. But be careful if you think that using the vibrate is somehow like better than using the stimulation. These things are designed to work in a specific way, and when people do it wrong, they usually do it wrong for some stupid reason like what I just explained. Yeah, so what I do, Toxic, is I like to layer. I get a lot of dogs that need correction in the kennel. I like to layer the no command onto the vibrate over time. I'll introduce the vibrate with light vocal pressure and light things like that. But over time, I tell my clients like, no, no. And if you want to layer, that's like the nuclear option, layer no with the vibrate, because it takes them out of their, like, if a dog is on a scent, the vibrate will take them out of that scent. My experience, the stimulation will make them go harder at something like that. But these people out here, they make a big mistake. They think that the vibrate is somehow like the nice way to do it, and they just are fucking up the dog, for lack of a better term. And this person thought that they went to the liquor store, like the 7-Eleven, to get snacks after training their dog. And I don't even want to knock it. They're trying, but they didn't do the right research. They didn't know what they're doing. And I'll get to that at the end. But they did all this vibrating. And then the dog, when they went to 7-Eleven, either tried to follow them and got lost, or bolted because he was in a flight kind of state of flight. And he has this harebrained idea that, like, oh yeah, the dog was missing because someone took it, but then the dog came back. And he said the dog came back because instead of the vibrate when the dog was taken, he was hitting the beeper button over and over and over, and the thieves would have heard the beeper, beep, 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 and been like, we got to take this dog back. All I know is if you're beeping with that Pavlovian tone, it's going to be stimulating the dog on most collars after a certain amount of time. So just a lot of poor use, and it's just proof that, like, and this is my point, the e-collar is not a panacea. It's not a cure-all. It's not like what most people think it is. I'm going to get this. I'm going to strap it on my dog, and I'm going to shock them into being good. Every time they do something I don't want, I'm going to zap them. It's a terrible approach, completely wrong caveman approach, like just it's not how it works. And I think it's really important that if I never come out, I'm not here to like give free lessons on e-collars all the time. I'll do it for the Q&A for the hour, but it's like, if nothing else, putting out the information on how to not misuse it might be something I do in the future. But yeah, people just really misuse these things. It is not a tool. It's not a corrective tool. And people really can't get that to their head. It's not a corrective tool. Well, Wolfpack, I'll give you a piece of advice. Number one, if you have an escape artist, carabiners are really good. Zip ties can be really good. Old pieces of leather leash I use to tie up the crate. You got to, stop them from getting success, getting out of the crate. I had a friend with an ex-client, current client, ex-client, whatever you want to call it. They had a dog that was crate trained, but then they used the fabric crate, which was good for traveling, but the fabric crate was proving to be not strong enough, and the dog figured out how to unzip it and get out. My advice to them is my advice to you. Get a crate they can't get out. Make it so they can't get out of the crate. Nico, the separation anxiety dog we have here, has one of those crates that just lifts up. It's got the 3 latches that like lift and go in. So he's learned how to lift it with his nose and get out. So we have carabiners on there to stop it. He's getting a lot better in the crate, because he knows he can't get out. They also make those big travel crates, and they make separation anxiety crates if it's bad enough. I had a dog here that chewed through metal once, and I had to enlist some serious help so that we could watch him around the clock. And the tray had to be aluminum because the dog literally would chew and break the plastic trays. E-collar is a good solution for maybe the kennel thing, but not for a while. You got a lot bigger problems on your hand. How about start with keep the dog from getting out of the crate? Once you can eliminate the success of the dog getting out of the kennel, then you can start to address his comfort in the kennel or her comfort in the kennel. Yeah, I use I probably have like a bag of like 20 carabiners with locks from when I used to rock climb. So I use those. Um, and here's my other thing, Wolfpack. If your dog is escaping even one time or trying to out of a wire crate, I would highly suggest getting a heavy duty travel crate or a separation anxiety style crate. The thing is like you don't want the dog to hurt itself. And if it thinks it can get out, it's going to try and it'll bite through those wires, which it can do. I've seen dogs crack their teeth, push through, maybe something in the eye, the mouth. I worry about that stuff. So for me, I really worry about that. I would get a travel kennel, and I would really reduce the size of the kennel. If you can get the dog in there, barely able to stand up, turn around and lay down, that's better. Pack them into a tiny crate. It'll help to keep them calm. If all they can do is lay there and just like relax and ruminate on what's going on, they'll get calm. You definitely need one that locks, number one. But I would really suggest like the one I have outside is a big plastic like travel kennel with two like openings on the side with bars, and then the whole closing door is like a tight grid with a twisty thing that like locks here and here. It's really good, and it's meant for dogs that are trying to get out of the kennel. If she thinks she can get out, she's going to try to get out. Think of it like this, okay? If I locked you in a cage, I know we're not dogs, but like if I locked you in a cage and you knew that you could get out a certain way and I never changed it, wouldn't you get out? She's going to try to get out. And every time she gets out, it's giving her success, right? It's the same concept extrapolated when you have a dog sit at a threshold and come out when you call them, having them wait, right? That's important. The threshold, the door being open is not the admission, like the door being open is not permission to run out into the street. You have to be called out. Same thing with the dog in the kennel. You want to limit their success in the kennel, right? Get a kennel that will help to make it easier on you so you don't have to stress about the dog hurting themselves or getting out, right? Escaping. And then another good thing you could do, and I have videos on this, maybe sit down with your, like feet at the kennel like that, or like cross leg, and then sit there and open and close the door with yourself right in the walkway so the dog knows, like, don't leave. Start really like slowly on. I like to think of separation anxiety, right? And especially with crate issues, escape artists, I like to think of it like a tangled ball of yarn. And I think of it like that because like the thing is, when you have a tangled ball of yarn, you can't just yank it apart, right? You'll pull the strands of yarn apart and you'll do irreparable to that connection. That's kind of how I view the psyche with the dog when we're dealing with separation anxiety. It's a meticulous process, and there's a lot of detail and patience that goes into it. You cannot lose your patience. You're cool, and you can't just start pulling at it, okay? It's not that steady. It's not that solid. You need to slowly unravel it and put it in the right place. The blanket thing works, but be mindful that the dog doesn't try to eat the blanket. In my experience, I found that wool blankets, the dogs aren't as like. I find that those fleece blankets, the dogs want to chew on them. One, I would say anytime you're dealing with an issue with a dog, think of it generally. I like to think of it crawl, walk, run. You shouldn't be running or even walking right now if your dog can't be in the crate. If your dog can do crate for 30 minutes, maybe start increasing to an hour, maybe 2 hours. Start making the crate as part of your day. Maybe put the dog in traffic area, tell everyone in the house, don't address the dog, have other dogs around it, and let the dog be ignored actively. Let it have time in the crate where you don't pay it any mind. And as for neurological problems, I mean, call me crazy, but it's a dog. To do basic things, and if it can't be in the kennel, then it's going to have if it's got such a neurological problem that it can't exist in the kennel, then that's becoming more of an ethical question about if the dog's life is worth experiencing. I know that's dark, but we have a lot of dogs that are healthy and they get put down. So sometimes when it comes to these neurological problems, the dog keeps getting bred, and these problems passed down. I super into anyone who does rescue. I used to rescue, so I get it. But there's also a part of me that's like, I see the value in a purebred. I see the value in a good hereditary line of the dog. I know that that's fucked up to some people, but that's what I think. I hope the dog doesn't have neurological problems, obviously. But it's kind of, I've heard Peter say, it's like people who adopt handicapped dogs, it's kind of one of these. I'm so good. I'm not saying that's what you're doing at all with the, with the healer thing. I'm not saying that, but I want you to know, it's kind of where my angle is coming from. It's the same thing as adopting a dog. I hope your dog doesn't have neurological problems. And I would assume that within reason, the dog could still be trained despite having those problems. Yeah, I've had dogs pull blankets in and shred it. I'm not going to lie, Wolfpack, when you deal with enough dogs, and maybe everyone here probably knows this, I'm real simple. The dog gets one chance blanket over the kennel, same as the dog gets with a blanket or a bed in the kennel. You get one chance. You fuck it up, that's it. And there are some dogs I look at them like, I'm not even giving you that chance because I know you'll fuck it up. I just know they will. A dog's fine on the plastic tray, no blankets, nothing covering the kennel. They're fine. Had to convince my mom not to agree to take that someone off of it. Yeah, I mean, people who are giving away dogs are, one, I'm sure there's a reason, and two, they probably already fucked the dog up. Another thing you could try, Wolfpack, is everything we've talked about, but what you could try if the dog is already good in the kennel and it's a new home. I've had success. This is a Peter trick I stole from Peter, but I've had success moving the kennel to different parts of the house, even 3 times in the day. Like morning, we wake up in the dog room or whatever room, and then afternoon, we do it in the backyard, and then late afternoon, we do it in the bedroom, and then evening, we do it back in a different area in the house. I moved the kennel a lot, and that's given me a lot of success with certain dogs. Okay, well, first thing, Roni, are you training with food? So if you're training with food, it's going to train your dog. It's going to condition your dog to be excited. So that's number one. Ditch the treats. That's a big thing. Okay, so you don't train with food. You're here for a reason. That's good. A lot of stuff with reactivity is interesting, and some people, because we talk about setting the dog up for success, right? You got to set the dog up to screw up in order to correct it so it can know what's proper. Maybe take your dog to a dog park, controlled environment, have a kennel in your car, but take your dog to a dog park and work them just outside the fence line. Or if there's dogs that set your dog off in the neighborhood, take them over there and work obedience. But before you go there to work obedience, do it in your yard, do it in your house, do it on the street from these animals so that your dog knows it, right? I would say for activity, get doing an obedience routine, like some work, right? You see tons of videos on my channel, Peter's channel, other people's channels where you do healing leash work within a 6-foot space, figure eights or spinning into heel, whatever, right? Walking to a point, sit and down, taking the dog, having him hold the mark, walk away, slap your hip, bring him into heel, turn him around, do it again and again and again and again. Make a routine. Drill it, drill it, drill it, drill it, drill it. Celebrate the success. Drill it more, drill it more. Go from the house to the yard to the street. And then when the dog has it down, right? Maybe in the morning you wake up, the dog got it right at night. Take him in the morning. Do it on the street. Okay, got it right. Celebrate it. Feed the dog. Let him rest. Bring him out for the afternoon session. Take them to the spot where they freak out. Work them on that routine exactly in a new area. See, it's important to remember your dog's going to make mistakes always. And excitement is the point where all dogs will make mistakes, right? They bark, lunge, they don't listen, they bite, they're complete assholes. In this situation, your dog is lunging and you're trying to redirect, but ask yourself, Ronnie, does your dog know what you want? Have you done this routine, this obedience enough for the dog to know what you want? And if what you want and you're asking for it and they're not getting any, you're not getting a response, you're getting refusals, well, I would suggest conditioning your dog to an e-collar, which is what this kind of Q&A was about. Get your dog properly conditioned on an e-collar, teach them routine with an e-collar, and then use the e-collar to get their attention. Remember, the e-collar is great for, it's great for, cutting through that distraction, right? I like to think of the e-collar in the house as kind of like, hey, what, you're at a party and you're like, hey, and your friend turns, hey, and then the next thing is like, like you're at the party and your friend's a little distracted and you're like, hey, and they're like, oh, hey, and then the outside, like with these distractions, it's kind of like you got to tap them on the shoulder, hey, smack them up, look at me, talk to me, because there's so much going around. Well, Ronnie, if you're a Peter follower, I encourage you to go sub my channel too. I'm Peter's long lost son. I don't think he wants to admit it yet, but we're gonna get him on Maury, and we're gonna get a paternity test going, and I'm gonna be able to prove it. I get it, dude. It's super annoying when your dog won't listen. You're on the right track, but remember, crawl, walk, run. Crawl, walk, run. Does the dog know what you want it to do when it's getting excited around other dogs? Is it not listening or does it not know? Remember, leadership, start with yourself. Did you tell the dog what you need? Leadership is not just about being like, let's fucking go, fuck off, don't do that. Losing your cool, chewing out the dog, those things are, they're not the same. You can bitch out the dog without losing your cool. And remember, a big part of leadership is self-reflects the dog for it was that clear the dog. I'm not gonna lie, Toxic. I'm reading your comment about the pets. Unless the dog's injured, there should be no wee pads around. I did a video dog litter boxes now. It's just another way to get money out of you guys. Don't ever follow that stuff. I know you guys aren't stupid. You probably would never. And yeah, I mean, reputable breeders. I've worked with a lot of purebred dogs from reputable breeders and a lot of rescues. I'm not gonna lie about which ones I enjoy working with more. Hey, those dogs in the neighborhood, Ronnie, are great for training. Use them to your advantage. We have some over here, and I had an owner come out, you always making our dogs act crazy. No, I'm making my dogs and my clients' dogs not act crazy. Your dogs are helping me because you guys haven't done shit to train them. Train your dogs. Hire me. I'll train your dogs. I don't really want to train them, though, because then I'd have to go all the way to the dog park. Yeah, I'm sick of breeders using pee pads too. That's the one thing that out of all the progress that Nico has made in just a week, I can't get Nico to do hurry, hurry. So scared to piss anywhere. It's annoying. Well, at least you're admitting it, Ronnie, that you haven't done it enough. You're probably right if you say that. And it's not even about seeing the dogs. That's another mistake, right? It's the same thing as like, I need to walk my dog every day. It's not about seeing us, okay? If your dog never sees another dog, as long as they live, it's fine, as long as they know to look to you for direction when they do. Yeah, pee pads are just they're a big fucking problem. I mean, I wish I could, yeah, they're just a big fucking problem. Peggy's a good dog in a scent work. Is your favorite thing. I really love how much you do scent work. Toxic, why don't you do a series on scent work so that I can rip it off and do it myself? But really, Toxic, you should do a video series on scent work. You're really good at it, and I would love to hear how you approach it. I would say, Ronnie, do it short spurts, get success. You know what I mean? And then build on that success. when I say use the e-collar for these routines, I'm talking maybe once or twice. Save the e-collar for like once or twice to snap the dog out of it and get them back on track. But first, you need to teach them how to do it like an all-star without the distraction. Okay, and then add the distractions in slowly. Maybe get a friend to walk by with their dog, a separate, different kind of dog, something you have control over. I mean, I am his long lost. Are you kidding me? Have you looked at our content? Have you looked at our videos? Have you looked at me? That's why I want to go to fight Peter, because I want to. It's like, it's like that psychological thing. He's my father, illegitimate father. He's going around acting like he doesn't have kids or a family. It's like, hello, I'm right here. But he's ignoring me. So, I mean, he's not really ignoring me. He's not really talking about that. You guys remember all his stories about being in the woods? Yes, great, great, great comment, Elma, from Elma Bay. Don't react to the distractions. That's like when a dog goes on strike, when you're walking it, one of those dogs that sits and don't want to walk on the leash. Don't ever look back. Don't ever look back and plead with the dog. Let some leash out if you got to. When they get to the end of the leash, give it a pop and keep it moving. Always chin up, shoulders back, eyes forward. Fuck those distractions. Fuck what you're worried about. I am walking. Follow me, dog. It's all fine. Follow me. And when they do, yeah, good boy. Let them know. I always say, like, at the loop of the leash, there's great things waiting. At the end of the leash, there's bad things waiting. Is it bad to yell at the dog when she's being overly excited? I've heard different opinions about this. Well, there's varying opinions. It depends on the situation. If you're dealing with other dogs and you're making the excitement worse, if you're losing your cool, it could be bad in your scenario. But there's also a part of it, if like the dog's barking in the crate, say at like a level 6 or 7, you better come back with like an 8, 9, or a 10. You're not going to shut the dog down at a 6 or a 7. If you're going to use volume to shake a dog out of it, it better be quick. It better be sudden. It better boom, shock the dog out of it, and then you move right back to tones and non frustrated tones. You don't want the dog understands tone, and while there's all this chaos going on, the barking dogs, I'm freaking out. You don't want to be yelling at the dog, making it worse. Nose work, like tracking when you're walking, could be another problem, Ronnie. Teach your dog how to walk properly on leash at heel. Shouldn't be tracking at all. We only have 4 people in here, but this is a really solid crew of dog people. I'm into this. Pee pads are a scam, but they don't even come close to comparing to dog litter boxes. I can't. Well, I want to learn how to do better scent work, so that's why we're campaigning to make Toxic Shiba do scent work videos. Really good ones. Get somebody to hold the camera, get a tripod, get out there and do your thing, Toxic. We know you can do it, all right? You do have an opportunity to train her to be calm around them, Ronnie. Stop being negative. Stop being a naysayer. Take them to the local dog park. Get a friend that has a dog. Go down the street to those dogs that freak them out. Even if you just once a day walk by and then take a different route back. Or how about this, right? Here are the dogs on the fence. Here's your walkway, right? Once you start getting ready to go down the walkway, maybe the first day you take them into off the sidewalk and you do it. One way, good boy. One way back, good boy. Done. Next day we go a little more in, one way back, and then eventually it's here, and then we're coming back, 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 right? Until we get to here. If they have a mistake, maybe we take it back a little, crawl, walk, run. I think your big thing, Ronnie, is crawl, walk, run. Incremental steps. Maybe you're asking too much of the dog too soon. All right, well, if nothing else, Toxic, you just send me a very detailed how-to on our email thread. I'll do it myself, and I'll take off. No, but I really would love to see you do some of those. I don't know if you know what? I never met my mother. Just kidding. My mother's actually really a great woman. The Woody Woodpecker doll. I wish I could do that laugh. You could do that. Wolfpack, you could do that to get the dog. I do that sometimes. Hey, just to snap them out of it. But I don't get over and me going, hey, isn't me losing my dog. It's the same thing as barking in the other room. I might like do it like this, right? If the dog was barking a lot, I might like jump in from the other room and be like, no, and then get the hell out of Dodge, right? I don't stay there and stare at the dog, but I might, boom, shock them out of it and get the hell out of Dodge so they don't know what happened. I'm glad it makes sense. It's, a lot of this stuff is we just have to think of it in a way that is, it's not natural for us sometimes. Hey, Ria. Ria, are you the angel investor for Peter's art show and channel? I gotta know. I don't expect anything, and I just think it's amazing that someone is helping him out. But if it is you, I just want to say like you're a very, very kind person. Exactly. Here, baby steps, incremental success. We want to small victories, celebrate those small victories, build on it the next day, build on it the next day. Everything's about building on success. That's just a dog with high prey drive, right? Toxic knows what that is. It's just a dog with high prey drive, and now that Toxic's maybe not as you know, under the weather, that's all about taking the drive and redirecting it. You want lizard? You want the lizard? Come get this thing instead. I'm sure Toxic will say the same thing. You get a dog with high prey drive, you can get them to do really fun stuff. Well, the dogs that it doesn't work on, you need to change the method, right? But a water pistol or like even like a super soaker one time, I had a dog that would not stop. Would not stop whining. The owner knows I did this too. I called her about it. This dog King that we have videos of. He's a Doberman, and he was great, but he just whined and whined and whined and whined and whined. Super high pitched whine. Couldn't. It was first a bark that I unraveled, and then it just became this high pitched, endless whine. And I had one of those squeeze, those pump guns from like the pool that you fill up like that, and then you go. I stood around the corner. I had the dog in a kennel in my workspace, and I stood waiting around the door like a SWAT member. And when he barked, I just turned and I did a quarter of the gun like that, right in his face. He never whined again. Maybe that's fucked up to some people, but to me, letting the dog have that kind of like feedback loop over and over is more fucked up. I'm happy someone helped him too, Ria. If it wasn't you, then I'll take credit. It was me. No, it wasn't me. Um, I've never seen a dog react to a laser pointer, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just a redirection. When you have a dog that's obsessive about objects, get an object that you want them to, and then redirect that obsession to that thing, and then take that obsession that you just created around to the tennis ball or a bumper, right? A frisbee, which is a really good one. Have strong prey drive and frisbee go hand in hand, man. And then you got the dog eating out of the palm of your hand. It's all about control. Once you have that obsession in an item that you possess and that you're in control of, and you can create games around it, well, now you can really start chopping down all this kind of distracting outside stuff. Really get the dog. I have, you know, Nico out there is obsessed with the frisbee. Dodger, the little golden doodle, obsessed with this dowel rod. When I put the tennis balls on it too, make it a dumbbell, he likes it. He won't. It's so weird. We've been doing a lot of hold stuff, and I have videos coming out. I've just been swamped, but he'll hold the object, move with the object, sit with the object, jump up on tires, pick this off himself while moving without skipping a beat, but he still won't go get it when it's placed. So we gotta bring these two areas and kind of sew them up. That's cool that you have a big area that you can train dogs. I really want to buy property somewhere to expand my business. I really love bringing this style of training to Los Angeles area because like no one does this uh, style. But I do wish I had a lot more space. I want a property somewhere like Arizona or Texas. I want a ranch or a farm or a big set some acreage so I can put like a pond in, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't like when dogs are jumpy. I take them out at dawn or at dusk when there's like a lot of light bouncing around the cars and stuff, and I need them to work in that environment. Kong makes pretty good toys. I won't knock them. I think that they're dishonest to say that the Kong, like the original Kong toy, is like their tagline cures 99.9% of behavioral problems. That is a lie. And a lot of people fill their Kong toys up with garbage. Kong has a product called like Kong filler, Kong toy filler. I have a video on that too, and it's disgusting. Like nacho cheese, barbecue chicken. It's just like it's like Cheese Whiz, but it goes in there. Ducks are fucking awesome. I had Muscovy ducks back in the day, and when I worked at the zoo rescue, I had about 12 ducks that were mine, and I love ducks. Ducks are easy because you can teach them all heel. They just follow you in a line. Zogo Flex is like a Kong alternative. I'm not gonna lie, I don't use Kongs anymore. I just use antlers. Ronnie, no, I didn't grow up on a farm. I did spend time as a youth on a ranch, and we lived in an area for a while. I grew up in the LA area, but we spent a lot of my formative years, around 8 to like 13, 14, we spent in a newly developing like town that was kind of like a ranch town before that. If you've ever heard of Temecula, I remember kids used to ride horses to my school, and my friends had a bunch of property and country homes out in the wineries before they were fancy. Um, we had like one stop sign, so yeah, I spent a lot of time on a ranch growing up, and I spent a lot of time with animals doing that. I like that. I like that. See, Toxic's got all the info, all the info. Toxic, send me a list of how to make all of the really good training videos that work. Okay, don't forget to send me that. Uh, hey, I'm gonna put Hillsby on blast. Hillsby lets her dogs in the bed. Next time she's in a stream with us, everyone let her have it. Okay, everyone. I want her to get those dogs out of the fucking bed. I'm gonna play my banjo more, and you guys can ask whatever questions you want. Well, Ronnie, I wouldn't put a timeline on it, right? The work, I will pay attention to the dog and how he responds to it, or she responds to it. And again, the best way I could tell you how to make this timeline, Ronnie, is set small goals for yourself and your dog, meet those goals, build on those goals. Okay, it's not going to be about longer sessions getting like you're not going to want to see the dog do it for 30 minutes. Get your dog out and get success for 1 minute, and then the next day maybe 2 to 3 minutes. build on small victories, okay? Right now, you're in a corner. You're in a corner, and you need to fight your way out. And you can't do it by taking everyone on at once. You got to start with the simple, easy stuff. Don't go in the dog park. Do it outside the dog park. Dog parks are a forced pack situation. Do not take your dog to dog parks. Yeah, never go in the dog park. Luckily, I like to take the dogs to the dog park at like late at night when no one's there. Last time I went to the dog park, I ran into an actor. I ran into the guy who plays. If you ever watched Malcolm in the Middle, I ran into Malcolm's oldest brother, the guy, not Reese, but the guy who plays what's his name? Francis. The guy who plays Francis in Malcolm in the Middle goes to my dog park, and I bump into him all the time. He has a really beautiful pair of GSPs, and he hunts with them, and he's really nice. It's funny. I've never let on. He knows I'm a dog trainer. He probably knows more about me, but like I've never let on that I know he's famous. I never approach him about it. I never bring it up. So he always comes and talks to me. And if he's there, we'll chat. We'll work on stuff outside the dog park. One of these days, I'm going to have to just be like, come on, like, shout me out, bro. Let me work with one of your dogs for free. That's my advice as an LA person. If you see a famous person, treat them like a normal person, because if you don't, it's really unfair to them. Like, if you think about it, being famous, like being really famous, hey, what's up, Jeff? Being really famous is kind of the same as having like a severe burn on your face. Like you're a severe burn victim, like 3rd-degree burns. And they had to put, like, if you think about it, you show up anywhere and everyone's like, do you see that? Look at the guy with the crazy burns on his face. It's the same thing as being famous. Oh my God, that's good. Oh my God. It's a weird way to exist. Farm animals are good. Yeah, it's all about getting good distractions. And also, when you put your dog around distractions, if they're bad at making, at doing certain things, start with something simple, right? Nico had very little confidence for whatever. Wouldn't get into assuming why, but a big thing to start Nico off having fun doing these obedience drills is I just put him on a tire and put him in a sit. And every time I walked about a quarter length around him a little bit, I showered him with good boy, good boy, good. The first few days, because I wanted him to be comfortable. I wanted him to be happy working. Exactly. Exactly. I describe it the same way. I always say, like, it's like having severe burns on your face. Like you're a burn victim. You're a freak. If you're famous, the way people treat you, it's like you're a fucking freak. Look at the person, look at the thing that's different than all of us. Let's obsess over that thing. How old is the dog, Ronnie? I'm certain they can learn it. Well, I get that toxic, but I would just like to use a slip chain. Anyone who uses a harness is an idiot. I would love to have a horse. I would love to have a farm with just like ducks, chickens, pigs, goats, horses. I would be like, I'd be in heaven. Horses, maybe build myself a nice little 3-hole golf course, maybe go shoot my gun somewhere. She's a puppy because her teeth aren't dirty yet. No, she's just not been fed garbage. That's the other thing. Don't feed your dog food, you guys. You're gonna fuck up their teeth. But 2.5, I got dog. All right, my dog is trained great, and I got him at 3, maybe even 4, and he was a fucking mess. Exactly. If you act like you don't know and you treat them normal, they'll be your friend. I don't mean to say this to sound arrogant, but growing up, being and living in LA in my 20s, I was in a large. I had a lot of my hands in the art scene, in the art world, music world, and like I met a lot of famous people, and hung out with a lot of famous people. And they're nice. I never brought it up. I like some dog sports. I hate some others. I really like heel work. I want to teach dog how to do advanced heel work. I got him spinning 180 and then walking backwards between my legs and then turning around and then ending up in heel back forward, like I'm walking this way, and I'll get him to like turn from heel, jump in between my legs, and then walk backwards. And then when I turn, he'll slip out and be right here again. I want to get better at that. I think heel work is really cute and fun for the dog. Advanced heel work and like dog dancing, that shit is impressive. I mean, like, say what you want, that shit is impressive. So wait, I mean, Wolfpack, yeah, use the like when dog on longer walks and I want to really push him, I'll strap a cart to his harness and I'll make him pull stuff. I'm gonna start having him pull me on the cart just down the road and back. I've never tried to bike with my dog because I don't want him running like that. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. I don't know. I would like to bike with dog, but I don't know. I experienced a chicken shortage back in June, actually. Uh, Not anymore. I'll put a harness on with a handle to pick up the dog and move it if I don't clip to the harness ever. Advanced heel work is sick, bro. I don't care what anyone says. Advanced heel work is sick. If you haven't seen We Are the episode on dog dancing, one of my very close friends, Sean Horvath, he edited that exact episode. And he was like, I was thinking about you the whole time. That dog dancing is sick. Anyone who thinks it's not is an idiot. It's hard as fuck. Could you imagine teaching your dog to do that stuff? It is tough. I'm trying to get my dog, when I take it outside, not to want to run as crazy as like that sounds. I want him to just be calm at my heel. When I tell dog, okay, go ahead, he'll bolt and do whatever he wants, and that's fine. And I'll call him back and put him in heel. They're probably very similar healer. Healer. I spent my 20s doing, I had an art collect, big, warehouse, and I had a venue, and I threw shows, and I threw parties, and I made a lot of friends, and I made a lot of enemies, and then I moved on to going back to working with animals when I got older because I realized humans are a virus. They're trash. They're garbage. Not you guys, of course. Can go from a heel to leading 6 dogs. What do you mean? Like in a mush, like pulling the dogs? Send me the notebook notes. I want to try to play it on my own. I won't record anything until you tell me to put it out there, but I want to try. Reverse retrieves to a cot or reverse retrieves from a cot to a receptacle and back. I love reverse retrieves. Yeah, it's called Shiba Ball. Oh, by the way, you guys, I just finished cleaning this stuff. One of my clients, Bozo's owner, is a experienced spear fisherman and has been teaching me how to snorkel and free dive with a spear gun so that I can start killing fish and eating them. That way when I move away and disappear to Baja, California one day and I live on the ocean and I'm getting all this stuff out of the ocean, you guys won't know where I went. I'll be fishing with a. Oh. All right, well, I am going to probably get going soon. I got other stuff I got to do. The dogs are asleep. Hang tight. I'll stay for a little bit longer. Just hang tight. Oh, man, that sounds like it'd be fun, actually. Huh? That's an ego. I needed something to drink. I'm not in that much of a rush. I need to do some editing later, but I have time. Oh, You're in quarantine for what, Ronnie? You got the Delty? Ouch. What do, Ronnie? Wolfpack has a great point right there. Do the commands on the walk, then build up to the walking with the bike, then you're riding with the bike. Think about that, right? What were we talking about? Crawl, walk, run. In this case, crawl, walk, ride. Editing's not that bad if you're not trying to be like fucking Scorsese up in here. Oh, you're a therapist. Very cool. I found out the other day that I was reading some cool stuff. I'm not even going to get into it actually because it's just on YouTube. It's a problem if you talk about any of that stuff. Your dog coming to work with you isn't extremely unrealistic. However, you would still need to be willing to kennel the dog and structure the dog's time and routine, even at your office. Your dog is about 2.5 years old, you said, and it's a rescue. It's you gotta evict problems, then you gotta set the foundation and do the groundwork, and then you gotta build that house up, and then only then will you be able to trust the dog to do certain things outside of the kennel. So yeah, I mean, it's really important that you don't rush things. Everything gets done in time. Okay, everything in time. Told Hills this the other day. Hillsby was talking about her dog. It's like, well, sometimes you give it time and space, and the dogs will slowly feel each other out. Same thing with a dog and a cat, or a dog and random clients. It might be really unrealistic to have a cute dog that's well behaved at your office with kids who want to pet it, and you're like, don't fucking pet my dog. That would probably be bad. Yeah. The word of the phrase of the day today is baby steps, y'all. Ronnie, your mantra for the week is baby steps. Wolfpack, Wolfpack is crushing it. Okay, if she did a stream, I'd watch her stream. Okay, because she knows what she's talking about. You gotta slow down. Okay, that's where that stuff comes in, right? Think about what we were talking about earlier. Are you asking too much of your dog? Does your dog know what you expect from them? Well, you know, I appreciate anyone who spends time here, with me. Peter was a very big, he was an eye opener. I always enjoyed Peter's content, and I always enjoyed working with dogs and animals in general. And I was really staring down the barrel of starting my own business. And when Peter and I first interacted, I'm telling you, I've told this story a few times. We interacted on like a group training call, and I was just trying to get him to not shit on my uh, training so far that I had done with one of my dogs. And he jumped way out ahead and was like, "Why aren't you training dogs more? Like, you know what you're doing. You're a professional." And like, he kind of called me out. And I was just like, I want to do this more. And I wouldn't have this channel. Honestly, I only have this YouTube channel because Peter refused to open my attachment links in the emails we were sending for a while. He wouldn't open attachments. So I started hosting that stuff on YouTube. And then I figured, why not keep going? And he's been very supportive. I know that he gets frustrated with a lot of fucking idiots. He's had so many people watching him, so I get it. But he's a great guy, and he really saw through the extra bullshit stuff and just saw what I was trying to do and who I was and what I wanted. And he gave me a little, come on, you can do it, kind of attaboy. And I really will always appreciate him for that. He and a couple other people, he and my dog and a couple other people really changed the trajectory of my life at certain points. Just kind words, Peter's not really for as much as he's telling people what's what, he's really just trying to tell people the truth about a lot of stuff that he knows when it comes to the animals and stuff. But he's not a you can't do it kind of guy. He's a you can do anything kind of guy, I think. Place work is going to be ideal for having the dog at your office, Ronnie. And when you're not having clients, take your dog to the office and have the place there, always in the same spot, and work it. And if you get your dog e-collar conditioned, you can play a really fun game with the place. And I'll tell it to you in a second. It's really easy to do. Peter is he's a catalyst for a lot of good things. That's why I think it's sad when people try to come for him and say things about him. It's like, there are people who I won't mention who think that they're important enough to be on Peter's radar, either in a negative way or a positive way. Like, I know Peter and I are on good terms. I've sent him money. I've put money in his account. He's put knowledge in my brain. We've shared a lot of ideas. But, like, I'm not so obsessed to think that, like, we have some special kind of relationship, or it's like some of these people, they think that because they see you on a screen that they're your best friend or something, or you owe them something. And I think that's tragic for those people, not for Peter, for those people. Get a life for a lot of those people. Well, Wolfpack, since we're on the topic of Peter, he reminded me of a really hilarious old idiom. It's like this old idiom of like the cobbler's kids will always have holes in their shoes. My dog is a mess sometimes because I'm constantly bringing in new puppies and boarding and training and boarding and training. It's like, that's why I take a month off every once in a while or more so I can work with my dog and take some time off. Yes, I think we could all agree Peter is awesome, Wolfpack. That's a good comment. Well, yeah, it's probably unrealistic to have your dog come with you to other people's homes. Yeah, people think that I don't even know if people think you owe them something. And if they do, I'd be happy to give if they wanted something. But I think I mention this all the time. Selfless giving is the key to life. If you give, always ask yourself if you're giving to put someone in your debt, or if you're giving because it feels good to give. Everyone here knows it feels good to give. You ever tried to give a homeless person a sandwich and they say, "Fuck you, I want some alcohol or a dollar"? That's them refusing your selfless giving. You want them to receive that giving with grace. That's why I say to receive with grace can be the greatest giving. And there's no way to really separate both things. A lot of what happens on Peter's channel is maybe just him giving a little too much, feeding the trolls a bit too much. If they know they can get a rise out of you, they'll try. Yeah, it's all about learning how to receive with grace. You can't expect anything back when you give. It's not fair, and you can't. What somebody said it when you give to me, I give you. When I give to you, you give me your receiving, and when you take from me, I feel so given to. It's a pretty powerful line. All right, I'll see you later, Toxic. All right, yeah, maybe we should shut it down, y'all. I have to finish my kombucha and get to editing. I'm going to try to put out more videos. I have tons of backlog videos, so if my hair isn't as long or I have different facial hair, don't worry. I'm not losing my mind. I didn't go back in time. All right, I'll see you later, Toxic, Wolfpack, Ronnie. If you aren't sub up. Share some videos, guys. I don't ask for a lot. I appreciate all of you, but share some stuff out when it comes out, and I'll try to get some good stuff for you, some songs and some dog content. And then I'll try to be back next Friday. I'm really bad at doing this regularly. If I can get the mobile streaming app through Prism to work, then I'll be streaming more often, and hopefully that can grow the channel. Only the true fans will notice. That's right. But I will see you guys soon. Everyone who's in here, you're very appreciated spending time with me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we will do more of these. Okay. All right. Very much. Thank you. As always, enjoy your weekend. Okay, guys, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your weekend.